Welcome to DDT Wrestling Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for your support. We are the best source for everything pro wrestling. And without further ado, we will get right into the topics.
All right, let's start with Mr. Ricky Stark, or whatever his name might be.
We don't know.
The funny thing is, I saw on Twitter that people was referring to him as a Osiris Diller or something because the WWE copyrighted like 7 names, and they were like, "Oh, he's probably this Osiris guy." So there is a guy in development that's his name. He's like, "Well, this is awkward." That's how he replied. So I think there's a thing they do when they get new people to come in and they get the rights to their names. So maybe they're doing that. It'd be great if he kept Ricky Stark, but I'm thinking back to Gunther. I'm like, that's Walter. I'm not going to be. What is this Gunther thing?
Yeah.
And LA Knight was Eli Drake,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came over to NXT and he was LA Knight,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to SmackDown and he was something Dupree, where he was like a male model manager or something.
Yeah.
And then he had that promo where he's like, "This isn't me." He took his glasses off and he's like, "I'm LA Knight." Yeah, and the rest is history. So he's a good enough character or personality. The dude can cut a promo. He has aura. He has a presence where he can overcome any name I think they give him.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like if Ricky Stark. I think it's the perfect wrestling name.
Yeah. It really.
Like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Like I thought Nick Namath is a great. Like just some people just got good names. But whatever. But anyway, so he's NXT. I think NXT is perfect because I think right now in WrestleMania season, lost in the sauce.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's a guy that he's gonna really stand out in NXT. As far as like I've already mentioned, how many men on that roster really stand out other than Obafemi, Trick Williams, and maybe Tony D'Angelo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, I can't forget Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest are kind of nameless guys that maybe they can go, but they're still trying to find himself. He will shine there, and man, he's one of 2 guys that I'm like, why isn't he on TV when he was in AEW? Ethan Page was another one. Like people were like, oh, he didn't catch on in AEW, but he wasn't given opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like you're a very casual watcher of AEW. I'm a casual, but I watch maybe a little more. So I was watching Ethan Page and I'm like, why isn't this guy on my TV? He was in a ring. His last match was against I think it was against MJF.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a joust back and forth. I'm like, he's so natural and good.
Mm-hmm.
But Ricky Stark going to NXT is definitely going to give him time to Triple H. Shawn Michaels is going to show him. He's undeniable. I think back to what something you said when Punk and Cody was in a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think your topic is what AEW had. That's the first thing that came in your head when you saw them looking face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to ring true. It's like, why was this guy sitting on a bench? So I see nothing but success for this guy. He's going to shine in AEW. They're going to know whatever his name might be. Hopefully is Ricky Stark. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm excited to see him there.
Yeah, no, it'll be a perfect playground for him. And like you were saying, there's not a lot for the men's roster in NXT. I mean, Trick Williams is almost out the door. Obafemi has reached like his peak with that NXT champion, and you see who he's up against. We'll get into Vengeance Day forthcoming, but he's against main roster people because there's no contender for him. So yeah,
Right.
Ricky Stark was the perfect addition to the NXT roster, and very excited to see what he's got going. I mean, hopefully the music and the name isn't cringe because I feel like that can definitely be
I
something
am Ricky Starks.
that will dampen
Generic rap song.
some kind of Death Rebel intro. So that's the only thing. But I mean, hey, if we're saying that we're worried about the name and the music and not the actual person, then that means that they're on a great path, to
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I am absolute. It's absolute Ricky Stark. So we'll see what they do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited for him. Definitely a good acquisition by them.
Mhm.
Uh the next topic that I have is the potential other acquisitions. You know, the news that came out that Miro, aka Rusev,
Mhm.
is out there.
Did
He Sheamus usually quickly posted a picture with them two having a drink,
and to some
and we also have Aleister Black. So I guess I'm wondering, where do they fit in, and does Miro keep his? I mean, that's his name, but we know WWE love licensing, and a WWE audience is going to know him as Rusev. I think that's his best way to go. I like to see him. I think you can plug him anywhere. Um, NXT is he's been on the main roster so long. NXT isn't the place. Although him standing across from Obafemi would be quite the visual. But I think you can plug him in. Man, you can plug him in across the ring from Jacob Fatu,
Woo!
Braun Strowman. You got the dude can work. The one thing that I think we did see in AEW is that I think he got a little better on a mic. His his character in WWE was, you know, he was the Russian, Bulgarian, whatever nationality they wanted to make him, and he had Lana. And he didn't say much, but he was in this I am the Redeemer. I guess he used his Christian faith. He's
Yeah,
God's chosen champion. That was his. I've dug that gimmick.
I like
I
that.
don't know what the issues was in the back for with him. Why? I don't know. He said he wasn't injured, but he's out of his contract. He was granted to get out of his contract, and he's a free agent. I think there's one place for him. I mean, that, it makes sense. These guys can go anywhere. I'm happy for them when they're just, they want to be seen. They want to be on TV. They want to be in matches.
Hmm.
It helps build their stock. So I'm happy that he may get a chance to be on a big stage. Um, I think he's a big guy that's agile, that you can. He, he's a different big guy, agile big guy. Like, I look at Braun Strowman as a big agile guy. He's big, he's massive, and he can move.
Hmm.
Rusev is a little different, I
Yeah,
guess,
more
in his
stocky.
stature.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm excited to see him. And then the next guy, Aleister Black.
I know.
Aleister Black, oh my God, his release,
Please.
it completely confused me. And I know in NXT when Triple H was running it, he was a Aleister Black guy. Now, I think they go with Aleister Black because they can just probably put the same T-shirts back in the WWE shop and not have to worry about changing to Malachi Black. Um, I mean, I doubt they go with his Tommy Ends. I don't think they're going there because they went with Aleister Black, and that's a great name for him.
Okay.
I think because I think Aleister something is like a atheist, a famous atheist or something like that. Anyway, I won't get into that stuff,
Mhm.
but yeah, excited to see him. Another guy. He did his thing in NXT. He was a champion multiple times. He moved to the main roster, and I think he just got drowned in everything. And the weird thing is, he's the type of guy that Vince McMahon would gravitate to. So that, I don't know, who knows.
Right.
Vince would wake up and be like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't get him.
Yeah.
Like those type of things. But you can put him anywhere. One thing I'm seeing, new leader of Judgment Day. I don't want to see him there. I want to see him stand alone,
Standalone. Yeah.
get back on those promos that he was doing, that was showing like and graphic animation. It was more artistic. It was like these poems he was writing talking about the father,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like evil or whatever, and how he was. So I definitely want to like to see him pick up from there. The crazy thing is how, his one of his last things is that Seth Rollins pushed his eye into the corner of the steps, and so he had like eye makeup on, and he had a contact lens in that eye. He carried that to AEW.
Yeah.
That's that's commitment.
A little bit.
Like props to him for doing that. I can't wait to see him. I don't know if he goes SmackDown or Raw, but just plug him on either show and put that guy in the top tier because he can go. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on potentially Alistair Malachi Black.
Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. And like speaking of Alistair, like he's got so many feuds already lined up for him that it wouldn't feel forced. So and both of those additions would be great to shake things up post WrestleMania season into like Money in the Bank, King of the Ring. Like it'll just be so great to see them, And for Aleister Black, like we got the iconic CM Punk crisscross applesauce in the ring, but I think about his too, like his crisscross
Wow.
applesauce in the ring after he pins people. Like all of his matches have just been cinematic, whether it be NXT or main roster. So very excited
Yeah.
for both of them to hopefully come to WWE.
Yeah. I think it's written. I think they already thought about it when they went across to AEW, and they're like, ugh. The money was probably good, but it's crazy. The House of Black should have been the top of that roster. I mean, you have him. Buddy Murphy can wrestle anybody and look amazing. And then Brody, man, he's a big guy that loses to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't get it because he's another one. But they had a presence. Um, the lights would go out. It just they just didn't do anything. They just kept him in that mid tier, nothing with. So I'm definitely excited to see him come over and see where they go. Whether he'll be in a WrestleMania picture or after WrestleMania. I mean, WrestleMania is 60 something days away. They can plug him in. I think we'll see. I think just like you know, like literally the next day Ricky Stark was on NXT. I think we'll see them very
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Um, the next thing I want to talk about is the title picture. There's some people I'm looking at this screen and I'm like, man, I really want to see them with a title. I think they earned it. Um, First person I want to talk about is Chad Gable.
Mm.
Chad Gable has been doing his thing. A person that can wrestle anything. You can give him any gimmick you want, but they use him to amplify the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Dolph Ziggler kind of got stuck into that area of he's a good hand, but we don't see him as the guy. No, I don't know if that's because he's shorter than some of the other people. He looks tremendous.
Yeah.
And every match he's in, he makes everybody looks great. So I want to see him. He can absolutely get that IC title somewhere. I mean, I think him and Braun Breaker would cook in a ring. And I just like heels having titles.
Same.
Maybe I'm just biased. I like heels having titles. So he's definitely one. The next guy that I'm thinking of is Carmelo Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Aura. He just looks like he's supposed to hold a title.
Absolutely.
They are featuring that man. I do love how they feature him a lot.
On
He's
TV.
not just sitting in the back like Apollo Crews. He'll show up and snitch on somebody. Like that's the best they got for him. When Apollo Crews can work in the ring and he looks good, he's just kind of lacking of the little charisma thing.
Yeah.
But I think Carmelo Hayes has it all, probably except for size. But the dude, I think about Shawn Michaels. He was in a land of giants, but the dude had it all. My goat. He had it all. He was able to shine. people still talk about how Duke could wrestle with broomstick and look good. I think The Undertaker said it in the interview. Um, he was asked about his favorite match was Shawn Michaels, and it was I guess their first match at WrestleMania. Mine is Hell in a Cell. That's still one of my favorite matches of all time, but that's a different topic. But another person, I think something about Karrion Kross has clicked. I think he's connecting. The thing is, he's connecting on social media, which is smart because everybody's on social media. Everybody's thumbing through Twitter. So he's very effective at using that. I felt like he didn't need Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain. It's a shame that the Authors of Pain got released because I think they could use more tag teams. Just to, like, last night in SmackDown, they showed a promo of the Street Profits ragging on all the other tag teams. There were literally just 3 other tag teams,
That's
maybe
it.
4 tag teams that they talked about. Like, come on. Like, yeah. But anyway, see, I went on a tangent. I was talking about Karrion Kross. That man can hold gold. He looks tremendous. I think the one thing I had against him, I always thought he could cut a promo. I thought his matches were somewhat boring.
Mm.
He added this new finisher, which is pretty cool. His finisher was the stray jacket. He would just basically do a rear naked chokehold.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you gotta spice it up a little more. Like, whether you do that WWE style with punches and kicks, and God knows judo and all of this other martial arts. But he's definitely one guy that I want to see. As far as women in 2025, Money in the Bank, I guess it's Roxanne Perez. I don't know if they're going that direction because that would be really shotgunning her to the world title scene.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the 3 that stand out, or with the Money in the Bank that stand out to me as far as 2025. I would like to see get a title.
Yeah.
Whatever the title is. I don't foresee WWE title Carmelo Hayes, but we'll see.
Like whatever we can get. Yeah, no, I totally agree with all of those superstars that you mentioned. I have 2 additions for women, Zelina Vega and Michin, and I just think like it's obvious because they've been workhorsing it for a long time and they'll be in like one of the final matches in some kind of tournament, and then it'll just be the person that's just slightly above them or the person that they're trying to build up. Because I mean, the draw to Chelsea Green is something that is not going to change. Like she is somebody that you want to see on TV all the time. So I didn't foresee Michin winning that. And then as far as Zelina Vega goes, I mean, she's been working it for a long time. I would love to see her and Andrade get back together as a faction because I thought that was her most interesting character. I loved her work with the LWO, but I'm glad that she's riding solo now. Just so we can see her do something. Like I think that them detaching her from it, she has her own intro, her own music. I think they have a plan for her. Right. I don't know when that is because there's a lot of people in line, but yeah, those are the 2 in addition to who you said. Oh, and then also Ludwig Kaiser. But I don't know. I don't know. Like it's just hard to tell if they're gonna decide to do that for him because he's still like attached to the whole like Imperium faction. But he's got so much charisma. So it's like, right, why not? There are a lot of people in line, all the people that we mentioned, but literally he's ready for any one of those mid-tier titles today. Like that's the only thing I would add.
Chelsea Green is in that territory where the title is an accessory. And it's great for her to be able to walk around with it and brag on it. But she's in that territory where she is over the moon. Yeah. She don't really need to carry that thing. And I think the story is Michin eventually beating her for that title. It'll be I think that's the payoff we're getting. Yeah. But yeah, Chelsea Green, you know me, that she's probably my favorite woman on that roster right now. Not named Bianca. or Rhea. But Chelsea Green, whenever she's on my TV, it's must see. She's her facial expressions, but I think she's in that area of she don't need the title. She is gonna occupy entertaining space. Um, and plus, it's funnier when she's in peril and angry about something and complaining when she's
Yeah.
in her Karen. I love that about her. Yeah. Um, so those are my three topics I have. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, I've got two. I like titling things. So I'm gonna leave the better title for the last one, but the first
Uh-oh.
one is titled The Infamous WWE Deflection. They love to do this when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to drama, and we finally got a little bit more closure for what happened to Jade Cargill because I was afraid that they were gonna just kind of leave it in the back closet and not
She
tell us what
fell.
happened.
She just
She
fell.
fell, or it was Candice LeRae, or it was, and I'm like, come on, guys. But on this most recent SmackDown, Nick Aldis showed a video to Naomi and Bianca, which showed, I guess, the ambulance and the paramedics, but then it also showed Liv and Raquel kind of walking out. And to which Naomi and Bianca responded like, see, we knew. Oh my God, like it was them. Nick Aldis was like, hey, we all know. And then they then said, we'll go handle them on Raw. So that kind of is insinuating some kind of tag match. But Naomi said something that was a little kind of off putting, where she mentioned, yeah, and everybody's been blaming me. But obviously, we know that this is a little deflection. It should not be Liv or Raquel for the purpose of storytelling, for the purpose of drama and cinema making. They shouldn't make it those two women, but that is obviously what they're putting in place to trick the viewers. And I think the the telltale for me was when Naomi was like, they're always blaming me. Now, do I think it's Naomi? I don't know. I still don't know. It could be both Naomi and Bianca. It could be just Bianca. But this gives me hope that they're going to continue with this story and that we're really going to get some development with these two women. And with them going to Raw on Monday, getting us excited for that. Another tag match between those four women, which they always show out for their tag matches.
Right.
Liv Morgan is usually the MVP of matches when she's in them. So I'm very excited to see what they
Very
do.
true. Underrated.
Um,
Underrated.
Underrated. Oh my
People
God.
crap on that woman, but
I know.
it's the little things. When I watch wrestling, I look at the little things,
Yes.
the facial expressions,
Ten,
moving a person a little bit out the way so
10.
another person can shine. She does that. She gets it. I'm a fan.
She's awesome. I'm very glad that she had her revenge tour and that she got the gold that she deserves. But I am hoping that on that Monday Night Raw, we do get that match, which will very likely be the match of the night because the women love to show out. And then to the obvious victory of Naomi Bianca and them celebrating in the ring, we hear the storm is coming. And obviously, there's going to be silence, there's going to be shock, there's going to be surprise. What's going to happen after that? I don't know. There's like a lot of things that can happen after that, but I do hope that we get some more development when they go over there.
It's absolutely a swerve because I think story wise, it makes zero sense for it to be the
None.
obvious heels.
Yeah.
But your internet detectives looked at Bianca's face when Nick Aldis said we have a video, and it was like, and then he showed it, and it was that look of
Oh,
relief because it's not me.
right.
But so, and then you had Naomi say the same thing. I think she's gonna be surprised
Mm-hmm.
when the way I foresee it. This may culminate into a tag team title match, and then you'll hear your theme song,
Mm-hmm.
and they're definitely a distraction. Both of them are gonna look surprised, and then she's gonna walk down to that ring, and then maybe something happens, and they lose their titles.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets in a ring, and then she goes after Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
That's ideally, I think, because that dude does two things. It it keeps Bianca away because like, why is she not going for a title?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets her in a grudge match. And finally, women are involved in something that doesn't revolve around a title.
Right.
That's the best thing about this,
Mm-hmm.
because they only do stories for women if it's involved around a title. I
Yeah.
want your title,
Yeah.
that like that.
Good. Yeah.
But this is a storyline. I think they can go in different directions, maybe jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Bianca be jealous? But she's a heel. Heels aren't rational thinkers, unless you're Kevin Owens. Um,
Yeah.
but that's how I foresee this playing out. This, I'm telling you, they are just playing the hits. This is Triple H taking out Shawn Michaels, and it was a secret or whatever, and then the video camera of him walking and looking like, like, but yeah, I hope it's a really good payoff, but I'm finally happy that they are moving the needle with this one.
Yeah, 100%. And like if we do get a Jade Cargill return, it does make me think about what's going to happen for the Chamber because both Naomi and Bianca Belair qualified for it. So unlike the Royal Rumble, there will be friction between the two in that match, and
Right.
I don't foresee either one of them winning that match. But yeah, it just really opens the door for a lot of development between them, potential for them to drop those tag titles to another tag team.
Right.
And yeah, it just allows
Heels with
for
titles. I
progression.
like them. Heels with
Love them.
titles. And one thing, I forgot my second point because I went off on a tangent. So it does two things. It gets Bianca and it gets her away from the title picture.
Mhm.
It's three things actually. It gets her away from the title picture. It gets her in a grudge match, a story with women not revolving around a title,
Mhm.
and it gives them two women a moment at WrestleMania, because that's a WrestleMania moment. You don't blow it off on a Saturday Night main event. That's a WrestleMania that I believe that Bianca can absolutely carry Jade, and Jade should go over because
Mhm.
you got to get the ultimate revenge. She's fractured and devastated your spinal cord and tried to kill you. So she has to get the final payoff. That's wrestling.
That is wrestling.
What's
That's
the
the principle.
payoff?
That's
So
the principle, 100%. Yeah. But yeah, you guys let us know what you think about that story. And my next topic is titled The Queen Crowns the Princess. This is obviously about Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. And we talked about this last week. I, wasn't 100% sure, where it was going to go. A lot of speculation on who Charlotte was going to pick. And she cut some pretty hot promos saying that she wants somebody to inspire her. She went to all three of the brands and, really schooled everybody. And then Tiffany Stratton had an amazing match last night on SmackDown, to which Nia Jax gets the assist for. A lot of people say that, Charlotte Flair is the only one that can make Tiffany Stratton a star, which sure, maybe to that caliber, but you do got to give the accolades to the other women on the roster. Nia Jax made Tiffany Stratton look like $1,000,000 in that match. It ended with a disqualification and set up a tag match with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber in Toronto, which is very cool. Looking forward to that. But Tiffany Stratton, there's no question about her in-ring ability. That will never be questioned because of how amazing she is. But Nia Jax did stellar work with making Tiffany Stratton look like, dang, like she's a hardworking champion. She's struggling for this. Like this is because that's how it should be against a powerhouse like Nia Jax. And I just feel like the payoff for most of these women superstars that go against Nia Jax, they always look good. Rhea Ripley has looked like a powerhouse against Nia Jax. Becky Lynch looked amazing against Nia Jax. Liv Morgan looked amazing against Nia Jax. Like Nia Jax does a lot of work to make these women, I know, right? To make these women look so amazing because of how amazing she is. Her return has been 10-10, by the way. I don't think she gets enough accolades for her return. And I'm very happy that she got the gold that she deserves. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton looked like $1,000,000 out there. And that was, I guess, the factor that inspired Queen Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton was laid out on the ring mat after getting beaten and brutalized by Nia and Candice. And she Charlotte Flair came in the ring. She sat in the chair, crossed her leg, just looked, high and tall, while Tiffany Stratton was laid out on the floor in a very dramatic fashion. And she said, "The queen chooses you." And that is how she exited the ring. I thought that should have been the end of the show. I mean, they had a development for the main event. I thought that would have been a great way to end the show. But yeah, I mean, I think I wasn't sure how they were gonna play this out, and I will be lying if I was saying that this is exactly how I thought it would go. But I thought that the development into Charlotte picking Tiffany Stratton and that match being an ink for WrestleMania is great. And I am convinced, based on that ending image of Tiffany Stratton laying on the floor struggling, not being able to get up, and Charlotte Flair sitting in that chair, standing tall, Charlotte's going to work for her, and Charlotte's going to put her over. A couple
We
hours
hope.
ago, I would have said, I hope. A couple hours, I would have said that Charlotte's just going to win, and then Tiffany will be on the chase for whenever next that happens. But Charlotte will eventually get her 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 time champ. But I do think that she is going to do the thing for Tiffany Stratton, and I couldn't be happier about that, truly.
This would really show how great Charlotte is
Yeah.
if she can definitely shine and get herself over, but elevate Tiffany Stratton, like you just said, Nia Jax has been doing since she's returned.
Yes.
The biggest thing, I feel like Tiffany Stratton is trying to get her footing as a face. She
Yeah.
was a heel in NXT. She was a
Mhm.
heel, the Barbie mean
Mhm.
chicks. She even said that inspired her character, the
Mhm.
mean girls persona.
Yeah.
That's easy for her to do.
Mhm.
She probably does promos in a mirror like she's a heel, but
Yeah.
the connection of a face is definitely more difficult than just being a prick, you
That's
know. And I think that's what I'm paying attention to, the verbal joust between them two.
mhm.
If Charlotte is really as great as she is, and she looks like she's moving towards that heelish type stuff, she can really help her shine and won't just crap on her
Mhm.
in their promo joust. Because we know the match is going to be good.
Yeah.
Both those women can
No
go. It's
question.
going to be art.
Mhm.
But the key is how much does this elevate Stratton to the next stratosphere? Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Um, but yeah, you know what? I'm on board.
Mhm.
I got to give the assist, the layup to Nia Jax,
Mhm.
and then Charlotte walking down
Yeah, you're
and sitting down, and doing that. I bought into that match before. I was like, maybe Charlotte should go against Rhea. I think I
yeah,
want that match, but you know what? That's what wrestling can do.
exactly.
That's what wrestling can
Yeah.
do. On a dime,
Mhm.
they can buy you in. They can like, the CM Punk and Cody in the ring. I want that match.
Same. I still want it. Still.
I don't. I mean, you know, I want Cena, but I want that match. I
Yeah.
want them looking across from each other because it's the promos leading up, and I don't want to get on that here. But yeah, the verbal jousting is going to be the biggest thing.
hmm Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's all my topics, but I guess we can kind of get into the pay-per-view set for this Saturday.
Pay-per-view / premium live event.
Yeah, PLE.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly just talk about Tony Storm retain, or she is the new champion. I think she is the woman of that roster. Um, Mercedes Monet is definitely I guess, the headliner. But as far as stories, character, in ring, Tony Storm is a champion. Is the right call. Mariah May, it takes two to tango. She did her thing. That was a great story.
Awesome.
Um, so yeah, I'm happy that happened for her. I wish that the men's championship would basically do the same thing. I have my feelings about Moxley right now that
Mhm.
uh, I like to see a champion that could propel it and not keep it in a briefcase and show the title, stand in the ring with it. I'm ready for a heel MJF title reign,
Mhm.
but they're keeping him away from that for a reason. But we'll see where that goes. So yeah, we had that, and then Mercedes Monet, she retained. Was that the right call? Everyone wanted they wanted to see the title change, but you know, I think they're building to Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm. Who wins that? I don't know. But I think the top woman, period, maybe one of the top women in wrestling is Toni Storm. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that she was able to do that when she was released from WWE. I don't know if she was released or whatever happened there. She's in AEW, whatever. But she is maybe one of the best character changes that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts there.
We also got NXT Vengeance Day. Should be exciting.
So we have a world title with Obafemi. The biggest thing out of that is, are we going to finally see the payoff of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory?
The split.
I think they're going to team up the whole time, but then something's going to happen. They're going to do the spot when Obafemi's laying in a ring and Waller pins him.
Yeah.
1, 2, he pulls him off. Grayson, and then Theory gets on him. 1, 2, and then they push each other. If that spot doesn't happen, I'm going to stop watching wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm done. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching, but I'm done. I'm retiring. But so yeah, that's how I feel there. Mm-hmm. We also have the women's four-way? Yeah, it's Bayley, Cora, Roxanne, and Julia. Julia retains. I don't see a reason to put it back on Rox. She's bound for
ready to go.
Yeah, she's ready to go. Cora Jade will be there. I don't think they're ready to put it on. They're definitely not putting it on Bayley.
No.
So then I think Stephanie Vaquer, she's gonna I think she's gonna get that title.
Yeah. It's time.
She has aura that fits in a stadium.
Dude.
Her aura is insane. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
She can work in the ring. You know, she doesn't even have to say a thing.
No.
It'll be good when she gets that better. But in NXT, she can have that title and just be in weekly matches. Mm-hmm. You said something last night about some of and I hate to say mid-tier, because after hearing like Chelsea Green talk about mid-tier or mid-card title, mm-hmm. Not the world titles. Yeah. They should be defended weekly.
I agree.
And the world title should be a special attraction. Right. So yeah, I like that. I like the idea if she's the champion, she can help build other women up. I mean, how many more women can they build up that are not good? But we have that. Those are the ones that really stand out. I think Ethan Page is probably going to get his comeuppance against. I mean, come on, he broke the guy's jaw. He re-aggravated his jaw. The guy was wired shut. I think Javon is going to get his win. He could use it. He could use it.
That's a big one for him.
So those, to me, I think those are the big ones. I don't know if I'm forgetting something.
There's Trick and Eddie Thorpe in a strap match.
Oh, Trick and Eddie in a strap match during Black History Month. Trick's winning that. I mean, they're trying to make a star out of Eddie Thorpe. Yeah. I think to do that is give him a pin.
Yeah.
But
against Trick?
No, it ain't happening. Because he's going to be a top player. At least I foresee him being a top player in the next level.
Yeah.
Those are the matches that I can think of that really stand out to me. Yeah, that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, that's the full card. It looks the tag match with Fraxium, but
you can pencil that in with ink. Fraxium
is
no review. Fraxium's winning. It's going to be some insane moves.
Yeah,
they have a tremendous chemistry with each other, but why?
Yeah, why take the titles off of them?
Why? Unless you're moving them to the next. I think they're an after WrestleMania move to the main roster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're an after WrestleMania move. Mm-hmm. But that's it.
That's all.
That's our topics. Join in the conversation. What are your thoughts on the title picture? Who do you think should hold titles? You know, your thoughts on Ricky Starks. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on Tiffany Stratton last night and how she looked and how excited are you for this match? Mm-hmm. But thanks for watching. We're basically DDT out. Peace.
Bye.